Okay, Dog and Dongs 420 here with a VOD review of a game where we lost. Uh, this game was pretty recent, so I remember it more than the first one. Our main problems were dying to ganks, not getting kills off ganks, and extending too far in our siege, and then not disengaging after we were extended too far. So I'm going to try this one without just using directed camera and do it sort of in the client so I can slow things down and rewind and toggle vision between us, them, and both combined. So we tried our usual invade, but they got to the first tri-brush first and warded it, and then they warded the red buff, so we were warded up the whole time, and that let them steal next red. And we had no idea that this happened, so Nick sort of wasted some time taking Gromps and then going up to his red side to see that it was gone and delayed his level 3. I'm not sure if there's really a telltale. I mean, Subs has to run all the way back here just to make sure he doesn't lose any experience, so it's hard for us to ward the red side at all when we do this invade. I think the invade works for us most of the time, so it's maybe we can think about a way to handle scenarios like this happening, but I'm not sure. But our team comp this time, we have a Caitlyn bot lane, so we're going to want to siege and push down the bot lane turret as fast as possible, and then rotate into other lanes and get some towers down to sort of give us map pressure and a little bit of global gold and sort of control dragon and things like that. We have the Gangplank top to just lane out. We have Rise versus Vigar middle. So, as from the jungler's perspective, that looks like a good lane to gank. Rise has a point and click stun. If he gets his passive proc at 5 stacks, he can chain stun, and it makes the follow up easy. Top lane's hard to gank because Gangplank doesn't offer much crowd control to set up a gank, and Jarvan has an escape. Bot lane, there's no point in ganking. You can try to counter gank if you want, but like I said, Caitlyn, we want to just push the lane and just put pressure on their Sivir. Sivir wants to push us, we want to push her. So basically, whoever pushes into the tower in this lane matchup is going to win it. And so we just push hard. So it's hard to really play for bottom through ganks. It's better to sort of have counter ganks with our solo lane teleports. So Gragas should focus top, and I think he does in this game. Or focus top and middle, I mean top side of the jungle. But anyway, just trading throughout the lanes. You can see our team is sort of opening up some CS leads early, which is good. Jarvan goes in. Subs does a good job of punishing him back a little bit for using his cooldowns. He gets his auto Q, auto off. So Jarvan doesn't get to just EQ him for free. Missed the CS because I suck. Ryan gets a minion blocked into the Vigar W. I mean, these are fine. Once again, I don't know if Subs even needs to run away. He has minions there, and Jarvan's cooldowns are off, but it's fine. Got some harass back on him. Kited him back into the lane. So, it looks like our Gragas is making an attempt top. Okay, so at this point, we have a gank. Subs should know that Gragas is coming top. It's not warded at all. I have this vision toggle on everything. So Subs, let's see, Jarvan has his EQ up. So Subs has plenty of health to try to bait out an EQ. And if he can get Jarvan to EQ into him, then Gragas is in a really good position just to follow up. So let's see. Subs sort of walks backwards. Okay, so at this point, Jarvan sees Nick. Subs is really far out of the way. He didn't account for the EQ. Nick hits his E, uses the slow early so he can get in range for an auto or two. Okay, gets Jarvan really low, doesn't get the flash, but Subs is in pretty good control of top lane. So that was a productive gank. So Jarvan sticks around. So Nick flashes in. So that E should have canceled the EQ drag, probably. And the Q, oh, he flashes it. Okay, so let's see something real quick. This initial gank was fine. Sebs, oh, well, fine for Nick. Sebs didn't really follow up, but let's see. Yes. Okay, so this, we're talking into Jarvan's vision. Okay, so yeah, he has no idea that Nick stays. He should have known, but he just sort of walks up. I think, Nick, you should just E in here, and if you realize you're not going to make the distance with your E, then you should just flash to hit him with it. But I think you could have just E'd him, and then you could have follow flash autoed him for the kill. But it was sort of unlucky that you didn't kill him outright. He had like 10 HP whenever you just E'd him. So, but yeah, Sebs should definitely be there. I mean, even if Sebs would have been ready for like one flash Q, you guys would have killed Jarvan on the second go around. So all in all, that was good. You blew Jarvan's flash. He had to teleport back in the lane from the double jungle, so Sebs can just shove top lane under his tower and get a nice CS and experience lead off of that. And he knows that Jarvan has no flash now. So all in all, that was really good. But yeah. So bot lane, I think we're just going to push for the first like 10-15 minutes of this game and not really do anything else. It's hard to kill John Sivir anyway, especially with Nami, Caitlyn. So much of my spells, Sivir can spell shield, and then John can shield through my autos. So this is mostly just about pressure, more of a pressure lane and a farm lane than a kill lane. Try to get something, but it's not. They have to make a misplay, I think, for us to really take advantage of it. So mid's also opened up a CS lead now, Viger based first. So we have a nice gold lead, 400 gold just off of CS at 6.5, 300. Mouth fights 11 gold CS up on Gragas. I guess from the top lane gank took a lot of time, but I still think the top lane gank was probably worth it. He says it's just kind of CS. Yeah, I think right now we should be looking to gank middle. Ryze has his ult, so he even has move speed to help get the root on. Gragas doesn't have to wait for 6, but he could wait for 6. Okay, so we drew Malphite out of the jungle bottom, which is good. Malphite just wants to power farm until he's 6, so being able to draw him out helps, even though he got 6 right there. So he goes back in his jungle. Yeah, I mean, I'm hesitant to even toggle to our own vision, only because you can see we really don't have any wards. I bet if we look sort of at the top side river, we're not going to see wards for most of the entire game. And you guys should just watch the inventories to see if anybody even buys green wards. Serge at least has a pink ward now. But Dilish did a good job. He saw Malphite bottom, so he counter jungled. He smited the Wolf Spirit, which gives us some vision in their jungle, and just denied Malphite some camps. And that's a pretty safe and smart counter jungle to do. So here we go with Ryan starting his roots. Ryan has his tiers now, so yeah, as Ryze you can just like keep queuing minions until you get yourself up to 2 stacks of your passive, and then whenever you want to make a play, you can just EQW and get your 5 stacks up right away, or E-Alt W Q, or E-R-E-Q. So you should just be stacking Q so that whenever you hit your first stun, you're going to pop your passive. So you should have flashed. Yeah, this is, I guess let's see how much vision you have of Malphite. So this is us. So yeah, Vigar is getting chunked by Ryze. Okay, Malphite's coming from a mile away. Yeah, I think you should just flash the Malphite ult on top of the Vigar. Your Q and W are back up, other than a kill, but that's fine. It's a sort of hard play to make. Anytime we're playing against a Malphite, we should always just be thinking about our flashes and how to flash. Once we see the Malphite, the first thing we should think is flash. How can I flash his ult? And just predict the ult and be ready for it. but it happens. Still winning CS by 15 middle. Bot lane's up in CS because we were able to push in. Subs is about even, which is fine. Okay, so Seb saw Jarvan ward at 9:15. He has a pink ward, so he could clear that ward if he wants to. Jarvan didn't buy. He knows Jarvan didn't buy any green ward. Yeah, I really think we should be looking to gank middle now, especially Viger has no flash, Ryze has flash, Gragas has flash, has ult. We should really be playing off of this Ryze route for, should be a free kill. Viger's only way to stop a gank right now is his cage, so if you guys just approach from 2 different angles, he can only try to cage one person, and if he cages Ryan, then Gragas can just ult him back into Ryan. If he ults Gragas, then I think you guys could still figure out a kill. Or if he cages Gragas, sorry. I guess we didn't see that ward go down. Okay, I think Sub is... Okay, so we just put more pressure on bottom, try to force them to base so that we can get tower damage. Okay, so we have a ward in the tri brush. We see this Malphite Vigar gank coming, so we just back off. We can't really outplay this. It's just too hard to kill Sivir. She has her summoners plus ult and her spell shields up. So Vigar just goes back to lane, misses some CS. Not so much. Ryan didn't get that really all the way into the tower, but Vigar's not normally going to roam with the possibility of his ship being shoved. So, let's see, once again, not many wards. Zob still has his pink. We got the bot river warded up at least now. Not really any wards around the mid lane most of this game. Okay, so Ryan gets his passive and flashes the cage, so that's a good kill. Even with Ryan, oh, okay, this is sort of strange. Okay, so it's the ward in that brush is probably about to expire. So they saw Gragas coming, but also this could have been a little cleaner regardless. Okay. So Seb is full health. He should be really getting up as close as possible. Jarvan doesn't even have his E, so he doesn't have his escape. Waited until his flash came back, but right here, the body slam while he's stunned. Just throw the ult immediately and sort of push Jarvan all the way back into his flag standard here, so he'll be right next to Sobs, and then you can throw your Q to sort of prevent him from walking down the lane. But just waiting so that you get to slow off. I don't know what the fuck he's trying to do, but now the ult is too late. Sobs is too far back. So now Jarvan's remaining just a flash under his tower. If he gets ulted back to the middle of the lane and he flashes forward, Sobs can put his ult down right here in the middle of the lane and really zone him out. Plus you're slow, and you guys have a chance to get a kill. Just waiting too long to throw the Gragas ult, and Sobs not really being in position to follow up with anything that Nick did anyway. So down here they try to do Dragon, but they're on a ward. So our 3-man just collapses in. They take too much damage from Dragon, and we just go right into the body of Malphite and secure Dragon. Yeah, I mean they just try to take Dragon while their Vigar had just got solo killed mid lane, so that was pretty bad. and so that was good for us. That was good by us to punish it. Okay, so this Jarvan gets hit by 2 straight barrels and then cues into the air again. Okay, so that was good that he fed Sobs a kill. He has no teleport, so Sobs should really start getting ahead of this Jarvan now. Okay, that's good. Nick got a deep ward in. Okay, so we got bot lane tower at about 12 minutes, 13 minutes. So we're looking to now extend that pressure onto mid lane and try to get mid lane tower down. And just we want to just keep rotating our bottom lane across the map to pressure towers. So, which means we're going to be sieging. And so we have to be ready to disengage. They have hard engage with Sivir Malphite. And so it's a risky game to siege against this, but we do have quite a nice lead. About 45 CS lead from our in bot lane. So we really want to extend our advantage elsewhere. So shut out the lane. Starting to get some wards up. We have a nice pink ward here. Sobs still has his pink ward that he bought a long time ago. We keep blowing Jarvan's flash and ganks, but then not revisiting the lane while his flash is down. Sobs was able to get a kill top lane because his flash was down, but we can really keep punishing that. And we haven't ganked mid the entire game, which I think before the game I would identify that as being our best lane to gank because we want Ryze to get items to get ahead, and it's the easiest lane to gank because Viger has no escapes, and we have a point-and-click stun in mid lane. I E'd back into that meteor. I should have waited to see the animation and then before I ever used my E. Okay, so here Viger cage comes down. Just got to get the fuck out. Malphite comes. Ryan barely lives. Sobs' ult is what saves us there, really, because so Malphite, Vigar's cooldowns, just blew all of his cooldowns, so he has nothing. And then, but Sobs ults and Kabbalah ults to prevent all of their secondary engage. So it's just Malphite ulting onto our backline with no follow up. And so the wave plus the Gangplank ult just halted them in their tracks. And then Malphite can't kill shit. And he got no help from the Janna to escape. So then we just can sit there and DPS Malphite until he's dead. But even though they got the initial engage off, we stopped their follow-up damage and their follow-up help. And so we just sat there and just destroyed Malphite. So that was a really good example of how we want to siege, handle the engage, and then we're in a position to keep sieging if we want to. Let's see, are we too low? I think I actually should have stayed middle and tried to push off the Malphite death because Vigar didn't base, he was still low. Sivir's wave clear was good, but it wouldn't have been good enough to... We could have at least got a few more hits on that mid tower. I think we should have stayed. I should have stayed. It was probably me who wanted to collect farm bottom, but we were healthy. We were plenty healthy to sit there. So, just recalling. Okay, so now we're getting vision around mid lane, now that these bat wards are Gabalas. I don't know if these the spiders are. Maybe that's Ryan's. We still have that pink ward. Nick, that's Gabala's pink ward mid. Okay, so it looks like Sobs used his pink ward, but I'm not sure what happened to it. So, now we're probably just planning on just re-shoving out bottom and then rotating back middle to try to finish that tower off. Just push Sivir and Janna out of the way. We have a nice... Yeah, this is one of my favorite wards in the whole game. This tells you a lot of information about their jungler. So we already know that their jungler is bot lane. Yeah, see there he's so warded out right now. This is so nice. This must be so pink. So yeah, Jarvan splashes back up. and Viger has flash. So that's a really thick wall. Hard to flash over that one. Cool. Okay, so he shoved up bottom. Sivir's still there waiting. We're going for a siege, but yeah, Sivir already left, so she's not even worried about getting her own form. She's just coming up to the way clear. I get greedy here with my flash. Shit. I should have just flashed out of the cage immediately. I was waiting for the Malphite ult to flash out of the cage and the Malphite ult, but Malphite held his ult, so I just ended up dying. This is a... I think this is a late Gragas also helped Ryan too. So this is a pretty big turning point after I got greedy. So here comes Gragas on the side. You see they have... That's a good Sobs ult to really try to keep them at bay, separate them from the Malphite. Jarvan flash EQs. But I think Delushi should be throwing his ult in this region, try to blow the Sivir back out. Either that or immediately just blow these two out of the Cataclysm. But definitely not wait till Ryan is going to die and then ult one person out. So now they just walk through. There's 3 kills. That should use flash. So yeah, there's 3 kills, and we relieve pressure middle. So that's pretty big. But yeah, that started from me being greedy and not just flashing the cage. Oh, I'm still slow as fuck. So they get middle. We have our side lanes pushing at least. And Dragon's coming up. So it looks like they're going to set up for Dragon. No, there's going to base. So, yeah, I think after a team pushes and something like Dragon or even Baron comes up, we do a good job of just running to that objective and just taking it while we know that they're going to be in their recall timers. We were a little indecisive here. I think we should have just ran and just trusted that they would have had a couple of people chased and then just started it. But we get the Veigar chunked. So we know this is like close to being a 4v5. Yeah, they just try to steal. They know they can't fight us for that. And then we zone them out of mid. So this is what we want to do when we take dragons and we still have an upper hand in the 5v5 fight. Take dragon and all rotate mid, zone them out so they have to walk the long way around. And just take mid tower. So that's if we have an advantage. Then we know we can just 5v5 fight. So now we want to keep sieging because that's what we're sort of strong at. Our team comp really isn't that good. We basically just have Caitlyn to siege. Okay, so here's another example. I mean, we don't do anything, but you can see whenever there is an engage and there's no follow-up, we can just blow the engage up right away. So just whenever we do have a fight and we have the opportunity, and they engage, and we have the opportunity to disengage their follow-up, you can see how easy it is just to blow up their tank or their top laner or their jungler while they don't have any damage following it up. So they are all in Ryan, but they don't have any follow-ups. We immediately pop the Jarvan, and then we get the Veigar out of it, and we lose Ryan. So here I got greedy again. I underestimated the Medi boots. Righteous Glory, Sivir ult, Malphite, and just got chased all the way down the lane. Give them another free kill. So basically both of my deaths should have been easily preventable by proper positioning. So it's hard to siege whenever your Caitlyn keeps dying randomly, and they're leaving pressure. We had the side lanes pushing, so it would have been good for me to have just been alive, so we could have kept pushing middle down. So that sort of ruins what we had set up. But yeah, I was saying before, I don't really think our team comp makes all that much sense. We only have one guy who's really good at sieging, and that's Caitlyn. And we have good disengage for her, but maybe we should be trying to split push to sort of break up their engage. Try to pull the Jarvan and Malphite and Sivir away from each other, but I don't think we do that. So this is probably a mistake by us, teetering around. Richie got a nice deep ward in at their red buff, and we should probably just be working on shoving. If we get caught in the jungle in a team fight, we're gonna get fucking smoked. We get lucky that my Q kills the red buff, so it makes it sort of worth it. But I don't think that was a smart risk reward type play. So here we are. We see Jarvan bottom. So we know that it is at worst for us a 4v4, and also at best for us 4v4. So we should just assume it's 4v4 since we only see one guy on the map. But Jarvan's on. Nice. Okay, so this is pretty bad already. So Jarvan's on the bot lane tier 1 tower. So he's on the top lane tier 2 tower. So we can just trade because eventually Jarvan has to recall or teleport. We probably don't know it, but his teleport's actually down. So we don't need to worry about Jarvan at all as long as Seb is pushing. So right now, let's see as soon as we actually know that Vigo is left. So we have vision toggled on us only, and okay, so we're still thinking it's 4v4 right now. Okay, so now we know, we see Vigo go top and Ryan roots immediately. Yeah, we should be walking forward. Nami and Greg should be walking forward instead of backwards because we have the numbers advantage mid now. Plus, we got a CC pick on Janna, and we're still sort of walking away. We should be, and even Rai should be shouldn't have ever walked away there. So, just because I think that Gragas thought that we needed to go bottom to stop that tower push, and so he was sort of walking up near this area in the river, but I don't think we needed to go back for Jarvan. He should have just stayed up in front of me, and then we could have had a clean engage on this 4v3. I mean, Malphite's already really low, John is half health, they only have Sivir back here, and we have 4 guys that are near half health with a red buff. And if we have people up, if we have Gragas up here, this becomes sort of an easy dive. So, okay, so here's the flash stand. It gives Janna some time to disengage with the E, and then here comes the Gragas ult into his inevitable death. Malphite gets really lucky that he didn't die there. And then we're sort of caught underneath the tower with Sivir's AoE damage. So that was pretty bad. We knew it was at least 4v4, so we should have been pressuring. And then once we saw that Vigo, and we knew that they had to respond to Gangplank top before we had to respond to Malphite, or to Jarvan bottom. So we should have been trying to put pressure on mid and force them to make a play on us. And then they sent somebody top, so we had a 4v3, and we were just really out of position to react to it. And if we could have got a clean pick there, a clean dive and kills, and started hitting that middle tower, they would have been in a really shitty position. But instead, they mop us. Subs has to recall, puts pressure off top, and Jarvan just keeps falling bottom, getting a bunch of CS and tower pressure and tower kills. So we've seen a couple of mistakes now in mid lane where we've given them multi-kills plus towers. and this has sort of gotten them really back in the game. So Ryan's forced into teleporting to save that tower. And so now we're back into our group. Seb still has his teleport, so it is good though that we're trying to focus towers more than just running for Baron and Dragons because our team comp isn't so great at it. But here we got another siege. Oh, whoopsie. So we don't see their guys, so yeah, we should assume this is 5v4. We do a good job just running away right away. We need to disengage. So, yes, this is inevitable. Okay. So, once we see that they have 5 strong mid here, we know they're going to try to fight us. So we see their 5, we start running, which is good. But you can imagine that if they hit any of their CC on either me or Ryan, then this is a complete fuckfest. So right here, we should be looking for Gragas ult and Nami wave. Yeah, if we can keep the Jarvan by himself, it's fine. If Gragas can throw his ult, I mean, obviously he's not in range right now, but just sort of sit on it. Nami has a nice line right here just to ult down, and Gragas can try to ult. He can either try to ult the Jarvan right off, if Nami can ult the Veigar Sivir, or he can just wait around and just ult the Veigar Sivir whenever they get closer up. But this is probably going to be pretty slow. So the Ryan's completely fucked. I don't have flash, so I get fucked. And then the Nami ult comes out. Me and Ryan are pretty much already dead. Gragas doesn't even get his ult off. So, we were pretty fucked. It's just the degree of how fucked we are. Yeah, Gragas holds his ult till now. And we have no damage, so they can just freely chase after him as much as they please. So nothing happens. Everybody just, after the fight, we all just go base and get ready. There's nothing to say. So another mistake middle gives them a bunch of shit. We die. They get tower and kills, and they just start getting more gold. We really just want to disengage and kite and kite and kite. Let Ryan get his passive to pop and keep rooting. Let me use my range. And so just my range to just keep going back and back. So we just don't really do any kiting and disengaging. We just sort of get fucked and then try to escape. But it's too late to escape by the time we try. So here we're grouped up. We make the mistake of even going into our jungle. Ryan gets split. We try to come in to help, and that just gives Malphite a free ult. I get deleted. They have 5 again. We should have probably all just ran together backwards. But we go into the jungle, get split, try to help each other, and just keep dying. And at this point, the game's pretty much over. from what's happening there. So now same story. They're gonna group middle and run at us, ult us, and then kill us. So I mean, there's no way that once they get to us, they're not going to kill us. So we just need to anticipate and just disengage and ult it quicker. But this one's over. So I guess this is our last fight. They have 5 again. I guess we decide that we're going to actually group up and just try to fuck them head on. So Nami goes in with just to try to ward a flank, but just gets caught warding. I'm blown up. Gragas tries to E through the baby cage and gets stunned. I take a shit ton of damage from that Jarvan ult. And we have Seb and Ryan trying to get through the back, but not very quick or successful at that. So here comes the Sivir clean up. And we all die. R.I.P. And that's another loser game for us. But yeah, we just need to. We could have played our ganks in the lanes better, and we could have pressured the siege and disengage and kited better that game. But we hadn't played Caitlyn in a while, so that was sort of a. I guess we weren't really used to playing that sort of style. But if we go back to sort of a siege type style, we just have to be ready to disengage, hard engage really quick, and just try to. I think the 2 VOD reviews I've done so far, sort of our jungler and laner synergy hasn't really been there, and we could have gotten more out of our ganks that we didn't. So those are my main conclusions. Bye.